Hi everyone, this is the first episode of Revampiece Bound. Yay! So, like I said on my blog, it's an avenue for us to learn from people around the world based on some of the things they are doing with their lives and how it can inspire us to think bigger and think greater than where we're actually at in our lives right now. So, my first guest is my very, very good friend, Ebele Mogo. I have some questions for her, and I'm hoping that from these questions you'll be able to learn a lot about her and also be able to learn a lot about some of the things she's doing with herself right now and how that can influence your life positively. So, hi, Ebele, how are you doing today?
Hi, Palumi. I'm good. As you know, I've been cooking some food and relaxing. So, thank you so much for having me. And I'm very happy to be here. And I hope that what I say will be useful to someone.
Hopefully so. So, my very, very, very first question is if you met someone for the very first time and they asked you to tell them about yourself, what would you say?
I would tell them that I am. I'll tell them about obviously my cultural background. I grew up in Nigeria, and I left when I was 14, and I moved to Canada. Went to school there, traveled a lot, and where I am right now. I would also tell them about my personality. I'm a very curious person. I love to learn. I love to share. I love to grow. I love to try things that haven't been tried. I like to.
Einstein.
I'm very adventurous.
Sorry.
So that's who I am, and I'm also very empathetic. I'm very good at connecting with people.
Oh, okay. Is that all you have to say about yourself? Sure.
Depends. You can ask. Then they'll ask me more, so you can ask me more, and I can tell you more about myself.
Okay. So, well, based on the future of this blog is Revampiece Bound. It's an avenue for people to be inspired by people's successes and stuff. So, what would you say are some of the things you are doing right now that in my own estimation, I think they are success stories. What are some of the things you are doing right now that you believe people can learn from you or would hear and would be like, wow, like, oh my god, I wish I can be like this girl type thing, if you know what I mean.
Okay, well, I hope they can be like themselves. But what am I working on right now? Well, I have a non-profit organization, and it's called the Engage Africa Foundation, and the purpose is to reduce chronic diseases in Africa, and we want to place a big focus on getting people to actually come up with their own creative solutions because we're trying to tie in the problem of non-communicable diseases in Africa with the problem of jobs, right? So if we can get people to start solutions to this problem and we can get the conversation going, then we think that not only are we going to empower people about their health, but then we're also going to empower people to create sort of a movement to deal with the problem. So that's something I'm very passionate about and I'm building.
Okay.
I'm also working on a poetry collection, which I hope will be, I hope I want to use this month to really edit it and all of that. And I have a blog, which is also like a media platform that I'm really passionate about, where I share stories just like what you're doing now. I share stories about people that are doing. I like to put the focus on people that are doing things that are unique, and what I can learn from them. And I also like to share my writing and my thoughts about different things about life. But the focus is just really on making the most out of life, doing things a bit differently, and doing it successfully and growing as well. So that is called Street Side Convos, and it started by I was very curious about people, and I was interviewing one person every day, and so I still do that now. I interview one person every week, but then I've added some other components to that as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's cool. And based on all of these things you've said, what are some of the what motivates you to like wake up one morning and say you want to do engage or want to have a poetry collection or street side like what motivates you to do some of these things you're doing right now?
What motivates me? That's funny because I was thinking about that this morning when I was on the bus. What makes me get up in the morning? What motivates me? I think possibility motivates me. I like to know what is possible. What could be possible if we did this differently? What could be possible if I started a conversation with this person? What would I learn? What is there to find? So I like to explore what is possible, basically. And so I think that is what motivates me, and also a sense of purpose. I believe that I am not on in the world. It's not a mistake that I'm alive, and I believe that the more I learn to express myself, the more I learn to share my journey with other people, the more I learn to use my talents. I feel like not only will I help other people to also be motivated to do it as well, but I can make a much bigger difference than I would have imagined. So that is really what motivates me.
Preach, preacher. Anyways.
I'm not trying to be deep, I'm just saying.
Moving on. Okay, so what are some of, or what's one of the biggest challenges you've faced, whether recently or in the past, and what was your way of overcoming it?
Okay. What challenge have I faced recently?
Whether now or before, like it doesn't have to be like right now, but any challenge you can think of that was really big at that point in your life, and you're like, how was I going to overcome this? And you overcame it, and what are some of the things you did and stuff like that? So.
One challenge. I think for me, there's the one constant challenge has always been like not uncertainty, right? So especially like I'm guessing people in our age group as well, just not figuring out how do I put all these aspects of myself together? How do I create something that's successful and that helps me express myself well? What do I want to do with my life? Or maybe if I'm organizing something for my nonprofit, is it going to work? Are people going to come? Do I know what I'm doing? Or if I'm writing my poetry, maybe I'll like, maybe, or if I'm writing something, it might be like, oh, am I saying nonsense? Or do I actually know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, just not knowing what is going to be possible when you take a certain risk, or not knowing, what's possible in the future, or things like that. It's something that's constant, I think, whether it takes the form of fear of failure or fear of self-doubt or whatever it is. And for me, I've realized that clarity actually comes with time. Like, you think that when you overthink things, it doesn't solve anything. And the way I try to see things now is more like, even if I'm making a mistake, I feel like if I go into it authentically, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to grow. I can correct my path. So that's something that I didn't used to know before. Like, I used to just overthink things, but now I'm just realizing that everything that happens to me is an opportunity for me to grow. And if it doesn't work out, it's going to still add to who I am. It's still going to make me a better person. So I don't need to fear anything really, because everything is going to help me grow. And so that's kind of the way that I deal with any form of uncertainty in my life now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And how would you evaluate success, or how would you define success in your own terms?
That's a very good question. Success to me is finding a way. I believe that everybody is very unique. Finding a way to take that thing that's really unique about you and express it and do it in a way that adds value to people and do it in a way that is sustainable. I think success is something that's very, how do I say this? Success is, I think that ultimately success is also about transformation. Like, it's about anything you do that is really about who you really are. It's really about basically your purpose in life. I think it's going to have to do with like really facing your demons and really going inside of yourself as well. So for me, success is all about that. So adding value in a way that's uniquely you, and then that journey of transformation.
That's good. And I have 2 more questions for you, so don't worry, we'll soon be over.
No, I'm enjoying it.
Okay. So I know some people have this belief that they have like an animal spirit in them. Like, some people feel like they're like eagles. They can soar high, like do the impossible and stuff. So if you were to see yourself, or how would I put it, if you were to like characterize yourself in front of any animal, what would that be? If that makes sense.
Wow, I don't know. Let me see.
Think deep.
Okay. I think, when I was younger, I used to say that I'm going to be a bird. Like, there are these birds in the Amazon. They're really tiny, so nobody can, like, put them in the zoo because, well, maybe they can, but I used to think that because they're so tiny, nobody can put them in the zoo. And they're so beautiful, but then it's not like those parrots that people just keep in the house. So they're just in the Amazon. So that was, like, what I thought I wanted to be. But when you asked me this question right now, off the top of my head, I was thinking of so I'm going to be a white tiger.
Okay.
And
why?
I'm going to have those white tigers are like, they have like, I think it's blue eyes, and then they have these black stripes.
Yeah.
Because they just look so, it's like they just have so much personality. It's like they're wild and they're elegant and like they're sexy.
Okay.
just that mix of like mystery and elegance and being sexy and classy and like powerful. I think that's why I chose that. So
So,
yep.
so that you think that describes you, your personality, if so,
um,
in a way, or
I yeah, I'd say that is that does describe me. Maybe if you ask me another time, I'll say a different animal. But for now, I'm kind of feeling the white tigers.
okay, okay, no worries. That's good. Good job. Good job. White tiger. I have a new name for you. Moving on to our very last
There's
question.
something like
So,
at the same time they're strong and they're fierce, but then they're not like they're still calm. And I don't know, they just look very cool to me. So,
okay.
anyways, go on.
No worries. It's all good. Thanks for the the clarity to understand why you chose white tigers. So, my next question would be, what should we expect from Ebele in the coming years? I know you've talked about your non-profit and stuff, but where do you see yourself in the next? I don't want to put a number, but where do you see yourself growing up from now?
Okay. In the next few years, I will, like I said, I really want to put my poetry together because I've been writing all over the place. Sometimes I'll stop and I'll write something, I'll stop it, or or I've published some things elsewhere, but I haven't really put something together, as a collection. So I want to work on that. I also want to build Engage Africa Foundation. So now we're really working on that kind of entrepreneurial model where we actually empower people to come up with solutions. I want that to be successful. So that's something I'm going to be doing. What else? I want to try new things. Like I'm in a place in my life where I just want to try new things and learn and have fun and not have too much expectation. So in terms of my life, I want to be in a place where I'm enjoying my life, even though that's not very specific. But I also want to build, like I said, street side convos. It's growing. I'm really happy. Like people are actually enjoying it, and so I really want to build it out and be more useful, express myself more, and hopefully I can help somebody through all the things that I'm sharing as well. So and I want to be growing. I think that's one of the things I want to do in my life. I always want to be growing. So that's something that I hope that the next few years I can share with you what I'm learning and how that shaped my life and learn how to tell, live my story better every day. So that's really, those are my dreams.
Aww.
And maybe sing, just, maybe one day as well, do other things. But yeah, those are the main things I'd say.
So on a wrap, what would be your advice to, I don't want to say young people, but just people in general about life? What would be your advice to them?
Okay. Well, I think we've had this conversation once before, and I was saying how just realizing that there's no prescription to life, which I think is still something that I want to say again. There's no prescription, and you have to. Nobody can tell you. Like sometimes we're so obsessed with like how to, someone telling you what to do and blah blah blah, which helps. But I think that ultimately you have to put yourself out there and make it not do something that actually has the possibility of you making a fool of yourself, right? And then you learn from that, and then you figure out who you are, because the more like something that a good friend told me is like we kind of find who we are through our interactions with everybody, right? So you can't really find yourself just by sitting down there and consuming things. You also have to go and put things in the world and see what comes back to you. So that's kind of the advice that I would give to people. And just like I said, kind of leaving the questions that you have. So sometimes we're afraid, we think that we need certainty, but if we realize that I don't know, but as I live in the world, I can learn, I can grow, I can make mistakes, they'll fit into who I'm going to be. Once you realize that, it kind of makes you to be able to accept yourself wherever you are in life right now. And I think another thing I would like to say is kind of just realizing that you are worth it. I know that people who always want to do something cool with their lives, or they always doubt themselves. Like the most talented people are always full of self-doubt. And so just realizing that it's okay to doubt yourself, but just realizing that your worth is something that's not tied, it's something that's intrinsic to you. It's not tied to whether you fail, it's not tied to how you feel. It's okay if you doubt yourself. It's okay if you don't know, even if you've made a mistake. Like like it doesn't affect your worth as a human being. Your worth is always going to be there, and just learning to accept yourself, because that allows me to fail, right? That allows me to make a mistake. That allows me to say something and not be sure if it's going to work or if I said it right, because I know that, in a way I'm still good, So that's just my advice to everyone. And at the end of the day, there's no, just go out there and do things, and then learn and grow and make a fool of yourself, and you look back and you have good stories to tell. So yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Ebele, for all your words of advice. I have learned a lot today, and I'm hoping that those who would view this also would learn a lot from all the things you've been able to say in these few minutes. So thank you very much, and do enjoy your cooking. Send us some, please.
Yeah, I'm going to put pictures on Twitter, so look out for that.
Yay!
Yeah. I just wanted to end by saying thank you too. Like, I mean, thank you for doing this as well, because you don't have to start a blog and share this kind of conversation. So I really appreciate that you always go out of your comfort zone and you're always trying new things. And I know that it's probably scary, but I really appreciate the fact that you're doing this. Like, that makes you a very special. Well, you're a special person regardless, but that says something about who you are. So I just wanted to also, celebrate you.
Oh.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Well, enjoy your cooking and hope to talk to you in the coming years as to what you're doing with yourself.
All right. Thank you, Bellamy. Bye.
Bye-bye.